Released in 2005, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children would be a film taking place 2 years after the events of the game Final Fantasy VII. The story only gets larger from here, so let's cut it down to size with a recapitation. The story begins with the Turks Song and Elena discovering something deadly in the northern crater and Reno and Rude barely escaping out alive. 2 weeks pass as Marlene reflects how when the planet used the life stream itself as a weapon to protect itself and destroy a meteor, the city of Midgar was ground zero for the phenomenon, though this ravaged the city and the lives within it. Now, in the town of Edge built on its outskirts, there is a memorial for those lost, as many who survived contact with the life stream now suffer a fatal affliction called geostigma that so far has no cure. We now see Marlene tending to Denzel, who also has geostigma, while she and Tifa both worry about Cloud, who has recently taken to long absences during delivery jobs for the courier business he now runs. As a wolf lingers around the Buster's sword planted where Zack died, nearby, Cloud takes a message from Tifa saying Reno is at Healan Lodge with a job for him. Atop his custom motorcycle Fenrir, Cloud drives off to see Reno as soon after a trio of young men arrive, kicking over the Buster's sword and seeking their mother in Midgar. The three, named Kadaj, Yazoo, and Lowe's, spot Cloud, calling him Big Brother, and give chase immediately on their own motorcycles, spawning creatures from Shadow to attack him while demanding to know where their mother is. Revealing an arsenal of blades stored within Fenrir, Cloud fends off the electrified knuckles of Lowe's and the marksmanship of Yazoo's shots, while Kadaj speaks with Reno on the phone as well. Kadaj isn't pleased to learn he's been tricked, now calling off the attack on Cloud as the ex-mercenary is puzzled about this new threat. On the way to Healan, Cloud listens to a message from Barrett, who has been seeking out alternate energy sources and is glad to share his discovery of a huge oil field, adding he'll be back soon to see Marlene. Entering the lodge, Cloud shows his skills are still enough to handle the Turks as Rufus enters in a wheelchair and draped in a white sheet, complimenting the former wannabe ex-soldier. Cloud is surprised to see Rufus alive, thinking he perished in the weapon attack on the Shinra building, but quickly demands to know about the trio that attacked him just now. Rufus asks Cloud for his help, stating he accepts responsibility for the state of the world and is committed to rebuilding and undoing the damage Shinra has done. Among the first steps on this path is investigating the aftermath of Sephiroth's influence, and he reveals the dreaded geostigma syndrome is tied to it. Showing he too has been afflicted, he explains the disease stems from Sephiroth himself and not the Mako or reactors like the rest of the world believes. Cloud points out that Sephiroth is dead, but Rufus counters that this doesn't account for his consciousness or that his body dissolved into the lifestream, stating his theory that Sephiroth's consciousness lingers intact in the lifestream. Rufus states that they investigated the northern crater, and while they didn't find Sephiroth, they did find Kadaj and his gang, showing Cloud a video of the remnants forming themselves, ambushing Elena and Song, and declaring they are coming for their mother. Rufus believes the trio are seeking to revive Sephiroth and asks Cloud again for his strength in fighting Kadaj and his men, and Cloud hesitates, suspecting Rufus is hiding something else. Evading the question, Rufus points out Cloud is also seeking a remedy for geostigma to help the orphans he's taken in, just like them, but hearing this would also resurrect the Shinra company, he refuses. Shrugging, Reno says they now need to search for Elena and Song, as they have also heard no word from the other missing Turks, but they are interrupted as Kadaj enters and easily defeats the two of them. The remnant confronts Rufus on the false information he was fed, warning Rufus with their bloodied IDs of Song and Elena. Kadaj states preparations for his plans are underway by means of geostigma, explaining it is the result of Genova's genes, and as remnants, they need Genova for a true reunion to become whole again, revealing they are literally the seeds to Sephiroth. Meanwhile, Tifa and Marlene visit the abandoned Sector 5 church, knowing Cloud often visits it and sees he still does, while also keeping the group's collection of materia here in the open. They are shocked to learn Cloud has geostigma as well and has been hiding it, and Tifa wonders if he's being distant because he intends to fight it alone, or worse, intends to not fight at all. They call Denzel to let them know where they are, as he chooses to wait outside for Cloud, watching Yazoo drive by instead, and tries to help a girl with a Moogle doll carry away her dead brother who fell victim to geostigma. Outside the city, Cloud returns to Zack's grave, remembering the sacrifice Zack made to ensure Cloud lived, declaring him his living legacy. Cloud recalls a promise he made to never forget and live for both of their sakes, but admits he did forget. Suddenly, he is interrupted by a sharp pain on his arm as the voice of Sephiroth speaks in his head, telling him he is a puppet and doesn't need feelings of anger or grief. At the same time, Lowe's is sent to search the Sector 5 church, disgusted by the flowers there, as he attacks Tifa, who cannot withstand his brutal assault despite her best efforts. Marlene tries to distract him with some materia, and pleased to see the stash there, Lowe's decides to take the material while kidnapping Marlene. Over with Yazoo, he collects orphans around the city as well, as the girl with a Moogle doll thanks Denzel for his help earlier and tells him a cure for geostigma has been found, leading him to Yazoo. At the church, Cloud returns to find Tifa defeated and Marlene and the materia gone, Before he can do anything, his geostigma acts up to the point where it knocks him out and he sleeps on the flowers with Tifa as the wolf from before looks on. When he wakes up, Cloud finds he and Tifa are home and it was Reno and Rude who carried them there, who also inform him most of the orphans have been taken away. Seeing no real reaction from Cloud, they walk away, disappointed in him, as Denzel and the other kids are taken to the Forgotten City. The remnants view the materia as a gift left behind by their mother in the livestream, infusing some into themselves directly as Kadaj reveals he knows Rufus is hiding Jenova. They intend to search everywhere Shinra related now, and over with Tifa, she confronts Cloud on his geostigma and his attitude of giving up and dying, who confesses he doesn't feel he can save himself or anyone else now. She's frustrated at his dilly-dallying shilly-shallying as he doesn't want to be left alone but doesn't want to be around his friends either, or keeps the phone but never answers it, always self-doubting himself and feeling depressed. Reno and Rude return to say the trio took the kids to the Forgotten City, and Reno directly tells Cloud to go rescue the kids on his own. Meanwhile, Kadaj uses his power to taint the water before him black, assuring the orphans that drinking it will treat them. Desperate to cure their terminal illness, the kids partake as Marlene is held to the side as the Jenova cells awaken in each of them and they fall under Kadaj's influence. En route, Cloud sees a vision of Aerith telling her he wishes to be forgiven, but she questions this as Cloud races into battle, now adopting a dual-wielding style of fighting. Kadaj rallies the kids as living shields, tripping Cloud and calling him a traitorous brother to their family. Entrapping him, Loz's strength and Yasu's agility push Cloud to his limit as he reawakens his senses for battle, but he is still unable to fend off Kadaj's relentless strikes and knock him down and cause him to lose his phone. He is saved in time by Vincent, who rescues him before slipping away, telling him later that he often comes to the Forgotten City and has been keeping an eye on Kadaj. He also mentions geostigma is caused when the body overworks itself trying to fight the disease, as within each of them is a flow similar to the lifestream that is also working to remove the Jenova cells within it. He adds he learned this from Song and Elena, who were brought here half dead as they found Jenova's head, who is the mother Kadaj speaks of, and with it can become another Sephiroth. Marlene slips away and finds them and wishes to call Tifa but finds both Cloud and Vincent lack phones. Thinking of what to do next, Cloud still feels guilty for letting Aerith die but hears her voice tell him he needs to forgive himself and he now thinks to at least try. He returns home with Marlene as his phone drifts down with messages from all of his friends wishing him well and trying to stay in contact with him. Among them, Reeve offers to help him grow his business, Yuffie mentions the kids in Wutai have disappeared, and an ethereal message from Aerith says she never blamed him for what happened, as it turns out the wolf following Cloud is really symbolic. The next day, the children of Midgar are ordered to help search for Jenova's head as the remnants think to dismantle the Shinra-made meteorfall monument in the center of Edge. Reno and Rude try to actively block them as Cloud drops off Marlene, who saw Cloud's desk full of leads on cures, so in his own way he wasn't giving up. However, she asks if he left in order to help Denzel or himself, and Cloud turns away, replying he couldn't protect himself. Marlene channels her inner Barret to slap some sense into Cloud, and agreeing, he says it's time for him to stop being rescued and return the favor. At the same time, Kadaj wheels Rufus to a building overlooking the city, repeating that once they have Jenova's cells, they will return to who they were and Sephiroth will return. Yet it aggravates them, as they don't even know who Sephiroth is, and it even seems Jenova prefers him over them. Regardless, humans and the planet will suffer, as even with Jenova gone, it's clear humans won't learn in advance, doomed to repeat their mistakes. Turning, Kadaj now summons Bahamut Sin as shadow beasts are unleashed on the crowd below. Tifa finds Denzel and tries to snap him out of his dazed state as Reno and Rude see the summon charge up its attack and hustle to rescue all the orphans nearby. As Bahamut destroys the monument, Reno and Rude do their best to hold off Yazoo and Loz as Barret, Red 13, Ketchi, Yuffie, Sid, and Vincent all arrive thanks to Sid's newest airship, the Shera, to help defeat Bahamut. Sensing Denzel and Tifa in trouble and reminded of Zack and Aerith, Cloud is the last to arrive, though saves them in time, slashing through enemies and debris to rescue them both. He pauses to tell Tifa he feels lighter thanks to the lessening of the baggage he's been carrying for so long, and she approves as she joins her allies in chipping away at the boss's armor. Utilizing more of his combinable fusion sword, Cloud rediscovers more of his sleeping strength as over with Rufus, he stands up next to Kadaj, shocking him by revealing he's had Jenova's head hidden with him this whole time. He mocks the remnant before tossing the head over the edge as Cloud relies on the combined teamwork of his friends here and even support from Aerith beyond to propel him into landing the final blow to dispelling Bahamut. At the same time, Rufus dodges a point-blank shot from Kadaj, shooting the head of Jenova and damaging it as Kadaj grabs the remains and Rufus is saved by a recovering Song and Elena lying in wait. Hot on their heels, Cloud gives chase as Rufus approves backing him up, and this time Cloud is able to handle both Yazoo and Loz easily enough during a duel down the highway as Reno and Rude get their revenge on the duo as well. The pursuit ends within the Sector 5 church as Kadaj is enraged in grief at there being almost nothing left of Jenova. During their fight, Kadaj blows up Aerith's flower bed as well as Cloud's bike, but to their surprise, lifestream-infused water begins to sprout up like a fountain and shower both of them. Kadaj cannot seem to withstand the water while Cloud is amazed to see it completely remove the geostigma from his body as he hears Aerith encourage him to keep going. Cornering Kadaj, the Remnant says he's just a puppet just like Cloud used to be, clashing blades as the group arrives to provide backup. Yuffie and Barrett want to join him in the fight, but Sid and Vincent insist he needs to do this on his own for personal reasons. Vincent also elaborates that each of the remnants are avatars of Sephiroth, each embodying aspects of his will, strengths, and personality, and can be thought of as a larval form, as any one of them can change into a full Sephiroth. Hearing this, Tifa also agrees Cloud needs to handle this alone, reflecting that 2 years ago they all had such strong will and motivation during the final battle, and yet that strength disappeared quickly afterwards, as Cloud is only now rediscovering his drive again. They pull away for now as Cloud cracks a smile in appreciation, defeating Kadaj with his own strength. Not giving up, Kadaj grabs the remains of Jenova and absorbs it into himself, forcing his own reunion, as before Cloud can deliver the final blow, he finds himself face to face with a revived Sephiroth. Revealing his consciousness has been left intact, he explains the ghosts of the Geostigma victims now flow in the lifestream while devouring it, as he intends to sail across the universe like his mother did, with this planet as his vessel, searching for a new planet to take over. Darkness envelops the Shinra building as Sephiroth says he wishes to give Cloud the gift of despair, breaking through Cloud's limit and toying with him mercilessly. Struggling to keep up, Cloud now hears Zack speak to him, telling him he shouldn't give up and should embrace his dreams and never let go of his pride as a soldier, offering to lend Cloud a hand. He reminds Cloud he's beaten Sephiroth before, so beating a remnant of him should be easy, and tells him not to forget this time that he's his living legacy. Bolstered, Cloud now leaps at Sephiroth, declaring his will to live now, and unleashes an Omni-Slash, making use of all 6 of the blades in his fusion sword. Edging out a wing, Cloud tells Sephiroth to stay in his memories, but smirking, Sephiroth asserts he will not become a memory, dissolving away. Reverting back to Kadaj, purifying rain now covers the city, as he too now hears Aerith in the lifestream welcoming him back, and dies peacefully in Cloud's arms. Many across Midgar are suddenly healed, including Rufus, as the group cheers Cloud's victory and Tifa thinks Aerith never really left them. Suddenly, Cloud is shot from behind as a dying Yazoo and Lowe's insist they all pass on together, forcing an explosive clash, and Denzel gets a call along with anyone still with Geostigma to meet at the Sector 5 church. As the film ends, Cloud hears from Zack and Aerith that it's not his time to die just yet, as the image of the wolf disappears and Cloud finds himself back in the church. The girl with the Moogle says a lady told them they would find him here, as Red 13 says there are still more to be treated. Denzel is healed for all to see as proof, as everyone now jumps in and cheers as Geostigma is finally cured. Looking on, Cloud sees Aerith head back into the light alongside Zack, who waves farewell for now, as Cloud smiles, finally forgiving himself and glad he's not alone. Later, he takes Denzel with him to Zack's grave, saying it's not a memorial, but where a hero's journey once began, restoring the Buster Sword and planting it next to Aerith's flowers in the church. Please support the official release. If you enjoyed the recap, then leave a like, and big thanks to the patron and channel member soldiers. Links are in the description for how to support the channel and get extra videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next battlefield.